How's everybody doing today? On today's podcast, we are going to be talking about a medical condition, a condition of the skin. It's a condition that millions and millions of people out there are familiar with because it is such a common medical skin condition. What is the condition I'm talking about? Well, none other than acne vulgaris. Acne, pimples, zits. We're going to be talking about acne. Why are we going to be talking about acne? Well, for that very reason, because it is such a prevalent skin condition that affects just about everyone at some point, especially when you're growing up in your teens. Acne is a skin condition that has touched all of us. And why is this important to talk about? Well, because acne really can affect a person's self esteem. It really can affect the way that they perceive themselves, their self image. It can make people feel ugly. It can make them feel hideous. Like, oh my God, I have all these hideous red inflamed bumps all over my face, my neck, my body. Why is this happening to me? And it could really affect people. And of course, it depends on the severity of the acne. Most people, their acne is pretty minor. They might get a bump here or there. It clears up and it's gone. And they just chalk it up to life experience growing up, right? Other people, their acne is severe, and they call that cystic acne, nodular cystic acne, where you have huge nodules all over your face and body. And this is not the type of thing that is just, quick and it's gone. It's something that persists. Acne could actually affect adults, people in their 20s, 30s, even 40s. And in rare instances, even people in their 50s and 60s can be affected by acne. And fun little side note, it can also affect animals. Animals could have acne as well. So this is a very, very prevalent, common problem in society. And I want to delve deeper into how it can affect our self image, our self esteem. So, on today's podcast, we are going to be talking about the very common skin condition called acne vulgaris. So, before we get to our special guest, I wanted to share with you my own personal journey with acne. I have struggled with acne throughout my life. Severe acne. This is not a mild case. Severe nodular cystic acne. I started to get acne when I was about 12 years old, and it persisted throughout my life, well into my 30s. I still occasionally get acne into my 40s. I'm now in my 40s, my late 40s. But it's definitely not as severe as it once was when I was much younger. I attribute that not so much to medications. I think the old adage that you'll grow out of it, I think was true for me in that, as I'm approaching my 50s now. What happens is your body tends to make less sebum. Sebum is the oily substance that comes out of your skin that causes acne or is a big factor in acne. And I think a big reason why my acne has gotten better is because, my sebum production has decreased as I got older. But I want to say that I've been on um, all of the available acne medications during my my life that were available. I was a teenager in the 90s, so whatever acne medications were out and available in that time in the 90s, I was on it. I tried it. Obviously, I started with benzoyl peroxide, over the counter benzoyl peroxide. I can't tell you how how much benzoyl peroxide I've used in my life. I also went to the medical grade benzoyl peroxide, had the doctor prescribe medical grade quality. I tried Retin-A. Retin-A which is a cream that you put on your face, and it kind of helps with the shedding of the skin, turnover of the skin cells. And then a different gel when that came out. That's a popular drug now that they have since allowed over the counter. It used to be you can only get that with a prescription, but now They've allowed that to be sold over the counter. I tried it when it was by prescription only, used it over the counter as well once they released it. Uh, Antibiotics, numerous antibiotics I've taken. You name it. Even the homeopathic stuff. I tried tea tree oil, tried diet stuff, to see if milk and other, things with my diet was affecting my acne. Tried it all, folks. There's very little that I hadn't tried. I had medical procedures when I'd go to the dermatologist. They would pop the pimples for me. They would do all kinds of stuff. I had it severe. I had nodular cystic acne. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. So, I'm not just talking out of my rear here when we talk about acne. This is an actual condition that's I've lived with my entire life. So I know a little something about it. And the reason why I feel like it's important is because I realize how many people that acne has affected, and it's not really talked about that much. Fortunately, it's getting better. When I was a teenager, it definitely wasn't talked about very much, particularly, its psychological effects on a person were not discussed. But it seems, as society progresses, things tend to improve, and I'm seeing now the kids that are coming up nowadays in 2025, and I'm sure beyond. They will feel more comfortable talking about not only how to treat the acne condition, but also kind of feel comfortable talking about, what kind of effect acne has on a person's life, spiritually, psychologically. It's not dramatic to say it can crush your spirit. It really, really, really has a strong effect on a person's self image, their self esteem, how they feel about themselves. I mean, if you don't have acne, you could certainly imagine, what it would feel like if you had, these red inflamed bumps all over your face, your body. You feel like you're some kind of monster. You look hideous, in your own mind, and that can't feel good, right? So obviously, I growing up was very embarrassed about my acne. I was very embarrassed about the way that I looked. And that embarrassment definitely caused me to self isolate, as it does to many, many people. And by that, I mean, you just look so terrible that you just want to, hide away in your room and just hide your acne from the world. You didn't want people to see the way that you look because you were ashamed, and you didn't want people to see that. And obviously, as a male, and this also affects females just as much as it affects males, obviously, it affects your romantic life. You don't feel attractive. You don't feel like going out there and meeting women. And I'm sure women are the same way. Don't feel like going out and meeting men when they look this way. So it can really affect your social life. It has a profound effect on people. Obviously, I'm still here. It hasn't gotten so bad that I wanted to take my life or anything like that. But I do want to bring it up that people have. There are instances of people being so distraught by acne that suicide was a very real thing. So it's not really the trivial topic that some people seem to think it is, especially if you're the one who's going through it. Especially if you're the one who has a severe case of acne, like nodular cystic acne, where it's really, really bad. So I have a special guest coming up. And we're going to talk with the special guest about their acne journey and what worked for them, and their take on the issue. But I wanted to start off the podcast, just giving a brief introduction on, my own journey. As you can see, my acne is a lot better. Things are getting better as I get older, and I'm grateful for that. But I have a real soft spot in my heart for any human being that is struggling with this disorder, because it really has a strong effect on your self-image, on your self-esteem. So, having said that, let's get right into talking to our special guest. So I want to introduce Marquise Ferguson. Marquise, I found you on TikTok, and I saw some of the Tik.
I was
Are
just
you?
waving. Hi, nice to meet you
Oh,
guys. Yeah.
I found you on TikTok, and I saw some of the videos that you did where you were talking about acne, and it really connected with me because I've had acne my whole life. I started getting it when I was about 12 years old, and I really connected with your TikToks, and I figured I really wanted to talk to you. I really respect how open and honest you are about it, how comfortable you are discussing it, and just the positive message that you're putting out. So thank you for being here with me today on the podcast.
Yes, of course. Anytime, anytime. And I appreciate that. Thank you for, having the eye for somebody who has also went through acne as well. And I'm always here to try to spread positivity towards that. And even when it's not towards social media, I try to make sure on the other end people are, you got to be comfortable in your skin. It's something that's very important in life. And uh, I always try to explain that acne is normal and we all go through it. Even if you don't go through it, you still have to have some kind of routine, and there's other ways to help your skin do what it should be doing.
Thank you for that. So, what has it been like for you having acne, growing up with acne? What's been your experience?
So growing up with acne, it's always been a challenge trying to find like the best products to use, trying to find the motivation to be confident in your skin. It was a lot that played a part when I had bad cystic acne or just acne in general. Through all that, I still managed to keep my head up, making sure I'm, uh, having a smile on my face, showing people that we can really do this. We can, if you stay consistent towards something that is working for your skin over time, your skin will heal, it will listen, and eventually it'll work out. And there's no need to follow any negative comments or try to worry about what the next person says about you because we all have our different journeys and we all go through different parts of how we grow.
That's awesome, man. Thank you for that. So, I know I tried a whole bunch of different treatments. I was on Accutane. I did several courses of treatment with Accutane. What treatment has have you tried, and what treatment has been helpful for you?
So yeah, I've tried plenty of treatments. I've did Accutane. I've went through different facials, all kinds of like everything from creams from dermatologists to just other things that you can take pill wise. Um, Accutane was a fun journey. It's something that you have to be careful if that is what you are trying to go and hop on. Um, it plays a big part. You got to make sure you're on top of getting your blood drawn, making sure your body is wanting this. Um, but yeah, I've done it all. I've tried, even just basic routines, maybe CeraVe and a little wash, like a cleanser, things like that. I've tried a lot.
Yeah, I know. I had a lot of bad side effects from the Accutane. I had some abnormal blood uh, blood levels come back, and I had really bad chapped lips from it.
Mm,
So I really struggled with the Accutane, but it did help me help clear up some of my acne. So I guess that's the price you pay to try to get clear skin. Is some folks are dealing with some of those side effects. Did you have any side effects at all from Accutane?
I had a lot of side effects. I did talk about it on my channel. I've had plenty of side effects. I went through, like you said, dry lips. A little discoloration within the lips. Um, I did stop because of like some liver levels. So it's a lot that plays a part. Like, you know, really dry lips is a big factor. I went through like muscle aching, like bones aching and stuff like that. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I kind of experienced the whole Accutane part and went through it, but I did talk about it on my channel. Like I gave people something that they could, if they do go through acne or any kinds of things, uh, Accutane is something that they do talk about a lot if you visit the dermatologist. So
Yeah,
I just had the opportunity to really branch off about it and show people just how the side effects were, and what to do during a purging phase, or how I felt during all that. And it was nice to be able to connect with people who also deal with acne, and you just start to see the how much you can make an impact towards people and really be an influence and help people get confident in their skin and wanting to really keep going and see within the next few years, if you're consistent with something, is it really going to change.
definitely, definitely. So I wanted to ask you, what advice would you have for somebody who's out there listening to this, who is struggling with acne? What would you tell them?
If you're out there listening to this, even if it's just one person, two people, anybody, maybe if I go back to look on it myself, just you have to stay in the positive mindset that you can find the resource to help your skin really do what it needs to do. And that is why I branched off to it so much on my platform, to really show people in real time that it was once a time I had horrible acne. And you have people saying a lot of things, and you just keep feeding off towards it, and you try this and you try this, and overall it really just takes some time. And you have to just keep going. You have to think positive, keep smiling, uh, do whatever you could do to keep your mental good and clear. Have the mindset that you will overcome this. And uh, I'm blessed to be able to say that I'm in the position to show people that your skin could be something that you deal with all your life, but at the end of the day, there is something that will help you out, even if you got to start going to get like professional facials. Um, there's ways for that. There's You have Accutane. You have to do your research. You have to be safe if you're going to do a medication. When it comes to routines, there is a product out there for you. There's a product out there for somebody, anybody, and I'm somebody who can come off here and network and be able to say that, like, within due time, your skin will do what it needs to do. I've dealt with it since a kid. I dealt with it through middle school, dealt with it through high school. Bad, painful, excruciating acne pain. And now I'm able to stick to a simple morning routine or nighttime routine and be able to go on with my day, not having to worry about how it's gonna feel when I go to sleep, not touching my face or worrying about what somebody else is gonna say. I let all that go. I talked about it on the media, and I was just wanting to influence people that you can say what you want. At the end of the day, we're all human. Uh, Life has its ways of having us all grow in different shapes and forms and everything that you can imagine under the sun. Um, you don't have to be alone in the journey. There's somebody out there who is going through the same thing as you. Uh, just keep your head held high, stay motivated. If you need any kind of like information, or just something that you're really looking to do and you're suffering with acne, my page is open. Uh, you can find me, and I will definitely respond and do my best to help you out with something like that, because I know how it is. I know how it feels when you just can't find the right resource, or you just try everything under the sun. You'll find a way to get towards that goal that you're looking for.
Thank you so much, Marquise. Where can the listeners find you on social media?
So if you would like to find me on social media, we could start with the TikTok page. That is just underscore Marquise. I haven't changed that since. So underscore Marquise on TikTok. Um, I'm always here. So just that social media alone, don't feel like my page is too big for you to reach out. Reach out. Even when there was times of a lot of messages, I still make sure I can get towards somebody and make sure I'm making an influence. And, you know, give me time. I'll reach out to you. Reach out to me if you need any advice. There's also plenty of videos on my page that I talk about week by week about my Accutane journey, or, just if you need to see just something to uplift you and you're dealing with acne, go watch a couple videos, go feel motivated, and go keep shining, because negativity doesn't take people far. The more you can be positive, the more of an impact we can start making.
Marquise, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you being on the podcast with us today and sharing your story. Thank you.
Yes, anytime, Matt. And I do thank you for taking the time out and doing your research and being able to connect personal about acne awareness. Is something that a lot of people should be more on the positive side, because as you grow up, there are negative things that people aren't aware of how they're going. But at the same time, you know, I'm glad I'm able to be that resource for people to know that there is a way to get past that stump in the road. There is a way to overcome it, to deal with it, to keep pushing forward, and do what you have to do. Be confident in your skin.